Hey, Dave here with another Limitless Brave short. And today we're going to be talking about betrayal. Something that I think all of us have experienced at some level, on a grand scale and on a micro scale. Somewhere along the way, if you're living and on this earth, you have definitely experienced some type of betrayal. And the people that betray us, they're not always conscious of the betrayal due to a multitude of psychological factors that cause people to take actions and do things that they feel in a sense is in their best interest and yours, even though it's not in your best interest. It is a psychological program that's running someone else. It's them not being who they really are. And then there are people who just flat out are cruel and will betray you just so they can win. It's important to talk about betrayal because the psychological damage that can happen to people is immense if they don't know how to take care of it and get themselves the proper help if they have been a victim of betrayal. The reason I chose the topic of betrayal today is because I've been betrayed, I know you have been betrayed, and it causes so much damage for us. And how do we protect ourselves? How do we find help? Well, there's a lot of ways to handle all of this. And I know many of the guys that I work with have been betrayed by their own family, their friends, women in their lives, business partners. And I've experienced all of that myself. It's never fun. It's never a pleasant experience. It makes you question yourself as to your own mental sanity, even though you've really done nothing wrong. The psychological effects of betrayal can create trauma responses in our body, causing us to not trust other people, to not love other people, to not care for other people, to protect ourselves so intensely so that we attempt to never get hurt, which isolates us, which makes us a loner, makes us a renunciate, so to speak, and hide away from the world because our past interactions have always led to some type of betrayal. So why keep interacting? Well, that is a very wrong mindset. We want to accept the fact that betrayal happened to us. Let's get to work. Let's help ourselves get better mentally. And then create a new system of vetting people or opportunities so that we can eliminate, to the best of our ability, the betrayal that we have experienced in the past. Now, a lot of time, betrayal, well, actually all of the time, betrayal involves someone else. So we may be doing the right thing. We may have vetted the person, vetted the opportunity, done our diligence, did a deep dive, and still betrayal happens. Well, when we go to those links and betrayal still happens, well, then we start questioning our own standards, our own vetting process, our own ways of looking at things. And it creates a lack of confidence in ourselves, which is not a good place to be. So we have to go back and kind of thumb through the pages of the past and look at how potentially we let betrayal sneak in. So I know most of you have probably experienced one of these betrayals. You know, we have infidelity, we have someone not honoring their commitments to you. We have backstabbing that happens in the workplace and just with friends. And then we have sharing of confidential information that we requested be kept private. And then we have abandonment in times of need. There's so many other forms of betrayal, but these are some of the most common that you've probably experienced. And when we react after we've been betrayed, we have feelings of grief and anger and frustration. We question our own sanity. We could even go as far as post-traumatic stress disorder. I've worked with some guys that have been dealing with this phenomenon from the military because they were betrayed by their own men. So the betrayal of someone can lead to extremely long-lasting psychological damage. And we got to be careful and make sure that we get help when we are betrayed. And when we've been betrayed, we have to fight through our own insecurities and trust issues when forming new relationships. And if you're someone that feels like you're really good at vetting people and still betrayal happens, then this can be an exhausting experience that you really are constantly getting into the pattern of questioning every single thing you do, distrusting people even more. And that's not healthy either. So how do we heal after betrayal? Well, we need to get with somebody that knows what they're doing, a good therapist, a psychologist, a good coach, someone that can really understand where you currently are, where you had been in the past, and where you want to go in the future, and then work through the emotional trauma that was caused by this experience. We're also going to want to start rebuilding our own trust in ourselves, that we have made good decisions. And we're going to want to start setting new boundaries for other people and ourselves, and allow ourselves to slowly rebuild that trust in ourselves when it comes to letting other people in, our vetting process, so that, again, we can keep betrayal as far away from us as absolutely possible. And then the other healthy things to do are knowing when to walk away, knowing when to cut your losses, knowing when to stop engaging and just be done with everything, so that you can save yourself that mental sanity instead of carrying on and holding on to something that's never going to work out. Some of the things that we can learn about ourselves when it comes to betrayal is looking deep within inside ourselves. Why did we potentially let this happen? What were the things that we didn't see? Were we not vigilant enough during this process of this relationship, whatever it may be, a personal relationship, an intimate relationship, a business relationship? Were we unable to see something at a greater depth that we should have been looking at? Did we not go through everything with a fine-tooth comb close enough? Or was it just truly the other people did not care about us? And so we need to look at really what happened in the situation, in the aftermath, to make sure that we did the best we could. And when we are dealing with the aftermath, managing our emotions, letting us be free of responsibility that we didn't catch something, if in fact we truly had done a great job at vetting this opportunity to begin with. And another thing, we need to go back to the drawing board and vet our own vetting process so that we don't become cynical and angry and never trust anyone again. That's not a life that anybody wants to live or experience. However, some people do, and they just disappear into the world, never to be heard from again. And so by looking at these things within ourselves, the situation, the aftermath, we can build resilience for the future so that when another betrayal comes along, and it probably will, you are more equipped to handle it emotionally and intelligently and get through it faster, and maybe even potentially keep it from happening again. So some of the key takeaways for experiencing betrayal are: first, get yourself emotionally healthy. Second, take a look at the aftermath of the betrayal. Was it you or was it someone else? If you were blind to something, well, dig deeper and to learn and see why you were blind to that. If you truly had done a great job vetting and engaging with this person or opportunity, then you need to look at them. Most likely, when betrayal happens, it is due to the other person's inability to communicate, honor what they say, and really take care of business the way it should be taken care of without hurting others. But again, most people that betray others are not psychologically healthy. They care more about themselves than other people. And again, they might not necessarily know that the betrayal they're about to commit is actually going to betray someone. They could be thinking it's all for a good reason for themselves and the person involved, and it's actually not. But their psychological state, they have a difficult time seeing it any other way. So if you've been through a massive betrayal, please seek professional help. I'm happy to talk to you. And also, if you have been through some kind of betrayal, leave a comment below. Let me know what you've been through. And it's always good to talk to people. It's always good to build a solid support system around yourself. Good close friends, family, or a good therapist, psychologist, or coach. I'm happy to help you, and please let us know what kind of betrayal you've been through in the comments below, if you feel comfortable enough sharing it. If you got any questions for me, add those in the comments as well. I'll do my best to answer them for you. Take care.